Hello, and welcome to Drake Lawn and Pest Control. Today, we're going to talk about something that can really affect the health and beauty of your lawn and plants. Lawn diseases. Even though Florida is known for its warm weather, winter can bring cold temperatures that may surprise you, and those cold spells can cause serious damage to certain plants and turf grass. In this video, we'll also cover how to recognize frost damage and how to identify some common fungal diseases that can affect your lawn. Plus, I'll share some practical tips that you can use to protect your landscape and keep it looking great year-round. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or a homeowner just wanting to care for your yard, this video will give you the information that you need to keep your plants safe and healthy. Let's start by talking about frost damage. Even though Florida's climate is generally warm, we still get cold weather during the winter months, especially in North and Central Florida. Occasionally, temperatures drop low enough to cause what's called cold injury to plants that aren't used to freezing or near freezing conditions. Tropical plants, like many popular palms or flowering plants, don't tolerate cold well at all. These plants can start to get injured when temperatures dip below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 10 degrees Celsius. Subtropical plants, on the other hand, are a bit hardier and can sometimes adjust or harden to handle cooler temperatures if they have enough time to acclimate. Temperate plants, those that naturally grow in cooler environments, are even more resistant. In Florida, freezing temperatures happen every year in northern and central parts of the state. In South Florida, freezes are much rarer, but still possible. There are two main kinds of freezes that you should know about: radiational freezes and advective freezes. Radiational freezes happen on calm, clear nights when heat escapes from the ground and the plants into the open air. This causes surfaces like leaves and soil to become colder than the air above them, sometimes leading to frost. If the air is moist, you'll see a visible frost or ice on plants in the morning. When the air is dry, there might not be visible frost, but plants can still be damaged by the cold. Advective freezes are different. These happen when a cold air mass, basically a big rush of cold wind, blows down from the north. These freezes usually come with windy, chilly conditions and can cause more sudden and severe damage to plants. Because of the wind and the fast drop in temperature, protecting plants during an advective freeze is a lot harder. Plants survive freezes in different ways. Some can tolerate the ice forming between their cells, but if ice forms inside their cells, it usually causes permanent damage. Roots and fruits tend to be the most sensitive because they have very little ability to harden against cold. One common type of winter damage you might see is called desiccation, or drying out. This happens when dry winds and winter sun pull moisture out of leaves faster than the roots can replace it, especially if the roots are cold or frozen. Leaves will start to brown and dry, first at the tips or edges, and then more extensively if conditions are severe. How do you protect your plants before a freeze? The good news is there are steps that you can take before cold weather arrives to protect your plants and help them survive the winter. First, where you plant matters. Cold air tends to settle in low spots like valleys or depressions, so avoid planting sensitive or tropical plants in these areas. Instead, choose sites with good air drainage where cold air can flow away from your plants. Wind can be a big problem during advective freezes, so creating windbreaks is important. You can use fences, walls, or even other plants to block cold winds and give your plants some shelter. Even temporary covers like frost cloths or blankets can help shield plants during a freeze. Healthy, well-nourished plants stand a better chance against cold damage. Make sure your plants get balanced nutrition throughout the growing season. Proper fertilization encourages strong roots and healthy tissue, which improves cold tolerance. Shade also plays a role. Plants growing under tree canopies usually enter dormancy earlier in the fall and stay dormant longer in the spring, which can help protect them from cold injury. Shaded plants also experience less drying from the sun and the wind, so they don't lose as much moisture during winter. Watering your plants properly before a freeze is another helpful strategy. Moist soil holds heat better than dry soil, and this can raise nighttime temperatures around plant roots by a degree or two. But be careful. Overwatering or letting soil stay too wet can harm roots and create other problems, so don't saturate the soil for long periods. How to recognize frost damage in your lawn and plants. After a freeze, you may notice some changes in your plants or lawn that tell you that frost damage has occurred. One common sign is a purplish color appearing on leaves or on grass. This purple tint happens because the cold causes the plant cells to rupture, damaging the tissue. In your turf grass, frost damage can sometimes look like spots similar to fungal diseases, especially something called dollar spot. You might see small patches about the size of a fist scattered throughout your lawn. If you suspect frost damage, here's a simple test you can do. Check the grass runners. These are the horizontal stems at the base of the grass blades. If the grass blades look brown and dead, if the runners are still green and healthy, there's a good chance that your lawn will recover as the weather warms. Common lawn diseases in Florida. Now, let's shift gears and talk about some common fungal diseases that affect Florida lawns. These diseases often appear when weather conditions are cool and wet, exactly the kind of weather that we see during the fall, winter, and early spring. Brown patch fungus. Brown patch is a fungal disease that usually shows up between November and May when nighttime temperatures are below 80 degrees Fahrenheit. It thrives when there's a lot of moisture, either from rain, irrigation, or high humidity. Brown patch starts as small yellowish patches about a foot across. These patches grow bigger and turn reddish-brown or straw-colored as the grass dies. You might notice rings of dead grass with healthy grass growing inside of them. The fungus infects the leaves near the soil, causing them to rot at the base. Because of this rot, affected leaves pull out easily, and eventually entire grass plants can be pulled out from the runners. It's important to know that brown patch isn't caused just by overwatering. It's a combination of cool nights, time of year, and excess moisture in the soil that creates the perfect environment for the fungus. To help reduce this risk, avoid using quick-release nitrogen fertilizers during periods when the disease is likely to develop. Instead, use slow-release fertilizers that feed your lawn gradually. Water your lawn early in the morning only, between 2 and 8 a.m., so the grass has time to dry during the day. Dollar spot. Dollar spot is another fungal disease that you might see in your lawn, especially from fall through spring. It happens when your turf grass doesn't get enough nitrogen, and when the roots are dry, but the grass blades stay wet, often from morning dew or from light watering. This disease creates small round patches about 1 to 3 inches across with grass blades that turn brown or straw-colored. You'll also notice light tan spots with dark brown borders on the leaves around these patches. Early in the morning, you might see white cottony threads of fungal growth. To prevent dollar spot, keep your lawn properly fertilized with balanced nitrogen and potassium using slow-release forms. Water deeply but less frequently, always in the early morning, so that the grass can dry out during the day. Fairy ring. Fairy ring is a little different. Fairy ring is caused by fungi feeding on buried wood, tree stumps, or other organic matter under your lawn. These fungi produce mushrooms, which you might see as rings or arcs of mushrooms popping up in your yard, especially during the rainy summer months. Because some mushrooms can be poisonous, it's best to remove or destroy them by mowing over them and chopping them up. Gray leaf spot. Gray leaf spot is most common in late spring through early fall, especially when it rains for long periods. It starts as tiny olive green or brown spots on grass leaves, which grow into tan or brown patches with dark edges. Under humid conditions, the center of these spots can look velvety and gray because of the fungal spores. If the disease is severe, the grass looks thin and dry, almost like it's suffering from drought, but you won't see clear patches. Once established, gray leaf spot is usually a chronic issue, but rarely seriously harms healthy lawns. In bad cases, fungicides and proper fertilization can help keep it under control. Taking care of your lawn and plants through Florida's cooler months means understanding how frost damage happens and how to spot and manage common diseases. By choosing the right planting spots, protecting plants from wind and cold, watering them properly, and maintaining good nutrition, you can help your landscape survive the winter and stay healthy. Remember, not all damage means that your lawn or plants are completely lost. With patience and the right care, many will bounce back. If you ever notice unusual spots, discoloration, or other symptoms, it's a good idea to get expert advice to confirm what's going on and get the right treatment. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, be sure to like and subscribe for more tips on keeping your lawn and garden looking their best. Drake Lawn and Pest Control. Quality service, guaranteed.